What's up, boys? UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber just took place. I'm going to go through all the fights that took place. I'm going to go a detailed breakdown from the early prelims all the way to the main event. Main event? This should be called Gamrot versus Klein. Because for those of you who didn't watch it, I don't have anything against you because this is a shit card. This was a shit card before and even after it happened. Usually with these shit cards, you have some crazy knockouts, some crazy submissions, and you have some crazy prospects that just come out of nowhere that you never heard of. But this was just an ass card. We lost 2 fights on this card. The main event, and we lost former neo-Nazi Swedish man Andreas Gustafsson versus Trevin Giles. This card is probably the worst one of the year so far, without a doubt. So, for those of you who don't know, Macy Barber had a seizure right before the fight. They played the preview for Blanchfield and her. And, usually after the preview goes straight into the lower ranked, the lower ranked fighters walkout. But after the preview played and it went straight to the shot of the arena waiting for the walkout, it just stayed that way. It just stayed just slowly looking around the arena like this, slowly for like 2 minutes. And we're just like wondering, what? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why is there no walkout going on? And then it cuts to the broadcast team, and they inform us that Macy Barber is not ready to walk out. So what is going on? This is like never happened before. This has never happened before. Well, if I've seen, as being a UFC MMA fan, I've never seen this before. A main event walkout not happening on time and the person not being ready. So a few 30 seconds pass by, and then Brendan Fitzgerald says, "I'm sorry to inform you guys, but the main event is canceled." And I'm just like, why? I'm confused. I'm like, okay, it got canceled. Why? And then he says, Macy Barber had a health issue. What? Right before the walkout? She was there the whole day. And then all of a sudden, right before the walkout, she is not physically cleared. It's not cleared medically to fight. So, turns out what happened, according to Aaron Blanchfield, is that she had a seizure backstage. And listen to this.
Pretty unprofessional. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight her again.
Do you know what happened?
I was told she had a seizure in the locker room. I don't know. Pretty
So she's calling her pretty unprofessional for having a seizure backstage. I don't know how you can control that, but I know why. Hardcore fans know why. She missed weight by half a pound for some reason. And she probably wouldn't have missed weight if she didn't get these new tits, bro. Are you focused on your career or are you not? There's some simping going on for Macy Barber, and I understand, okay? I understand why people are simping over Macy Barber, but Macy Barber is getting all this attention now. Now she's not really focused on her career anymore. So now she's just getting a new set of tits and then maybe even gonna drop an OnlyFans in the next coming years, but she's not taking her career seriously, and then this is what it's leading to. Her bad health. She had a bad weight cut because she had an extra 2 silicone bags in her chest. Macy Barber, I don't know. I chose her to win anyways because I watched her beat the shit out of Amanda Ribas, and I thought it was pretty badass, but who gives a fuck, really? I mean, women main event, I didn't give a fuck about this fight, really. When I was doing the prediction video for it, I didn't really care. I don't care about women's flyweight at all. So Who cares? But this is crazy. This has never happened in a UFC main event before. This has never happened. So that was new. All right. So now we're going to break down some fights. Balaji Oki versus Michael Aswell. Balaji Oki, great boxing and timing, great counters. And he's big for 155. And it seems like he has a decent chin because Aswell was hitting him with some shots at the end of the first round. It seemed like when Michael Aswell had a success, Balaji Oki was just waiting, looking for an opening instead of creating one. And that's when Michael Aswell took his chances and was able to land good head strikes. He landed only head strikes in this fight. Michael Aswell didn't go for kicks, didn't go for any type of takedown at all. One-dimensional in this fight. You know, it's on short notice, but still, dude, like, this is MMA. This is not a boxing. It's not a boxing competition or a fight. So, and Balaji Oki, bigger, good chin, great power, fucking good boxing and great counters, great combos, and definitely you can see the power disadvantage that Michael Aswell had in this fight. You know, Michael Aswell, he's kind of skinny fat, you know, not really in shape, so I don't know. I didn't expect much from him at all. I thought Balaji Oki was going to TKO him in the second round, but Michael Aswell, he stuck through, man. Michael Aswell has a great chin. You know, even Oki was teeing off on him. It seemed like Oki's best moments in this fight were he was on forward pressure. When he had Michael Aswell against the fence, that's when I thought Oki was going to finish him because Oki was letting go of some crazy boxing combos. You know, straight right hand, left hook to the body, right hook over the top. This guy can chain his fucking punches together. And it was a really fun scrap. This should have got fight of the night. Great performance from both. I mean, even a better performance from Balaji Oki, but Michael Aswell had some good moments. You know, at the end of round one, stung Oki bad. Kind of showed Oki that, you know, I'm here. You know, I'm still in this fight. Even though you're whooping my ass, I'm still here. So, Balaji Oki, I'm excited for him. I think that he's going to be a top unranked contender. I want to see him fight. You know, let's give Guram Kutsuleti one more. I mean, no one knew about Kai Fernandez when Kutsuleti fought him, so let's do Balaji Oki versus Guram Kutsuleti. Great. All right. Moving on. What I want to say about Michael Aswell before I move on is that Michael Aswell needs to become more versatile in his game. You know, Michael Aswell, he has some decent striking. He knows relentless striking. He had good cardio, in shape for being such a short notice fight. So Michael Aswell needs to mix in the leg kicks, the takedowns, mix it all in with his MMA striking. Overall, Michael Aswell, I don't know. I don't know about his future, but I'm definitely going to be watching his next fight. Anyways, moving on. Up the card, Kurt Holloway versus Jordan Levitt. Zesty King Jordan Levitt gets it done by first round submission. I told you guys. Even though it's been a while since Jordan Levitt has fought, you know, his last fought in 2023, got submitted by Chase Hooper really pretty quickly, and took some time off. You know, the Zesty King, he was over there grinding, and he was just thinking over his career. And I told you guys that Jordan Levitt was gonna win this fight, and he was going over his game. Improving his game, and Jordan Levitt showed that. You know, Kurt Holloway has decent grappling, but Jordan Levitt just gave it to him, dude. So opening seconds of the fight, Kurt Holloway was immediately pressuring Jordan Levitt against the cage, and Jordan Levitt backed up against the fence, trying to mix in his striking, throws a front kick, chains it right into a single leg, right into a body lock, drags Kurt Holloway down. Kurt Holloway starts working his way to the fence. Jordan Levitt, soon as he sees Kurt Holloway trying to get up, lets him get up a little bit, full on body lock, step back, Greco-Roman fucking tosses him over his body, dude. Slams him. You know, and Kurt Holloway, he's trying to get up, and I didn't even mention, but his wife is in the crowd, Kurt Hollowball. It's like he's in his corner, and she's some sort of jiu-jitsu champion. But like, dude, this is MMA. But she's like, "Come on, Kurt, come on, Hollowball, come on." But Jordan Levitt was fucking on it, dude. Jordan Levitt was just chaining, flowing beautifully, and I thought coming in that Kurt Hollowball might get Jordan Levitt up against the fence and lay hands on him a little bit, but dude, I didn't expect fucking Jordan Levitt to chain a front kick into a single leg, into a body lock, into a Greco-Roman fucking suplex. So after he suplexes Hollowball, so Hollowball tries to get up. You know, he tries to get up, but Jordan Levitt jumps on this guillotine grip. You know, Kurt Hollowball's fighting the hands, and you know, they're in north-south position basically, but Jordan Levitt has his guillotine grip. Kurt Hollowball, I don't know if he tried to roll through it, but Kurt Hollowball tried to roll through, and then Jordan Levitt was able to snatch up a Darce choke while he was rolling. And this was so slick because it was mid-roll. After rolling him backwards, he was able to snatch up a Darce choke, and it was tight from the moment he got it. So Kurt Hollowball is trying to fight, but then Kurt Hollowball's wife is yelling. It's like, "Come on, Hollowball, come on, Kurt." But Kurt Hollowball had got ragdolled even though it wasn't even a long fight. He got ragdolled for, 139 to 40 seconds, and still couldn't get out, dude. He couldn't get out. Jordan Levitt had a tight grip, snatched it up tight, even made it tighter by walking towards Kurt Hollowball, putting more pressure on his head, more pressure, and he taps. But Jordan Levitt puts him out still. And pretty sick win from Jordan Levitt. Glad he's back. He's kind of a character, but no twerking in the cage this time, sadly. But the Zesty King moves on. Have a fight Kai Fernandez, who beat Ground Kutsuledzi. Jordan Levitt needs to get one more dangerous guy out of there, and I think he can be justified to getting a fight against someone higher in the unranked roster, lightweight division. So, good fight. Moving up the card, Rafael Fiojo versus Alan Nascimento. So, this fight went back and forth, But in the first round, Rafael Fiojo got Alan Nascimento down quick. Got him down quick and had top position for the whole round. But Fiojo was determined to get a submission. He had Nascimento's back for about 2 minutes, and he was missing rear naked choke opportunities that I saw, but didn't jump on. But as he had his back, Alan Nascimento was trying to roll onto him, but Fiojo flipped him over to his back, and then Fiojo got top mount, got a nasty guillotine choke in the last 15 seconds of the first round. But Nascimento was able to dog it out, and he was able to turn the tables in round 2, smudged him for a whole round. It was kind of a dull fight, but round 2, smudge from Nascimento. And then it seems Fiojo was only good in this fight when he was on top, but when he was not on his back. Seemed like he had no urgency to get up, and I don't know why, because this is an MMA fight. This isn't a jiu-jitsu competition, so shitty fight IQ from Rafael Fiojo. But round 3, Nascimento laid on him for 5 minutes. So easy win from Nascimento. I don't think I did not think of somebody that he should fight. No, this fight didn't really excite me at all. So yeah. Next fight, we got Zachary Reese versus Dusko Chodovic. This fight was kind of back and forth, and I was excited for Chodovic because I predicted Zachary Reese to blow through Chodovic. But first round of this fight, Chodovic had Reese in trouble because he easily took him down. Immediately took him down. And like Jordan Levitt earlier in this card, chained a kick into a takedown. Because Zachary Reese opened up the fight with a nasty body kick, and Chidovic wanted to get that back, so he threw a body kick, and then probably like 3 seconds after that, he threw a head kick, which Reese blocked, but Chidovic chained it into a double leg takedown that got him down, that got Reese down quick, and he was able to gain top control. And man, it's sad because Chidovic is so mid and he's so ass, but I wanted to see him win. And he had opportunities to win. Zachary Reese, clearly is new to wrestling and fucking jiu-jitsu because he stuck his head in guillotines like 3 times. 3 times. And I can't predict Zachary Reese to do better in his career after seeing that. Because this isn't fucking this isn't OG MMA anymore. No one really knows what to do, but they're fighting. But somebody who has a fucking brain is going to jump on that guillotine, and Zachary Reese keeps sticking his head inside of a guillotine at least 3 times in this fight, even in the first round. And it's like, Zachary Reese, and I'm kind of salty that he won because he did some dumb shit in this fight. So, and Chidovic, he's just so, ass that he didn't capitalize on any of it. And this is the story of middleweight. This is the story of the unranked middleweight division. So, yeah. But Dusko, in round 1, got some great top control, great ground and pound. I thought he had Zachary Reese in trouble real bad for the rest of this fight, because as easy that Dusko made round 1 look, I thought he was going to just smudge Zachary Reese to a decision or possibly ground and pound TKO him. And in the next 2 rounds, 2 and 3, Zachary Reese, of course, was able to adjust and win minor exchanges on the feet. And it was a pretty sloppy fight from both, Chidovic, just kind of can't really mix his strikes together, trying to go for takedowns and just throwing big meaty right hands, but winging on him. Zachary Reese, not really like a high output, but he was winning most of the exchanges because he had better pop on his shots. Other than that, fight went all the way to decision. I don't know why I'm on this one, but fight went all the way to decision. Zachary Reese got the W. I want to see that Zachary Reese get fucking destroyed, so I want him to fight Marco Tulio. So that's what's next for Zachary Reese in my book, dude. Next fight, who gives a fuck? Anyways, Justin Jacoby versus Bruno Lopez. I thought Justin Jacoby was gonna win this by decision. I bet on this fight, saying that he was gonna go to decision, but I should have known. Bruno Lopez is just a fat welterweight. I should have known. This guy is so fluffy for a light heavyweight that it was just, I should have known that Jacoby was probably going to knock his ass out within 2 rounds or school him very badly and then TKO him later in the 3rd round. Bruno Lopez is not a light heavyweight. He needs to lose weight, get in shape. And it's clearly not built for this weight class. Bro got rocked by a jab. He got rocked by a jab. Justin Jacoby rushes him, and then Bruno Lopez holds him in the clinch. Holding on for dear life. But Justin Jacoby doesn't give a fuck, dude. He just starts throwing. And any shot that he's hitting around the guard of Bruno Lopez is hurting Bruno anyways. So Justin Jacoby just keeps throwing. Fucking hooks to the head, overhands, uppercuts. He's putting it on Bruno Lopez bad. Bruno Lopez can't move. And eventually Bruno Lopez just sinks to the canvas and just like leans against the fence like this. But Justin Jacoby is not done. He sees Bruno Lopez sink to the fence, Boom! Catches him with an uppercut, puts him out cold. Sick finish. Sick finish, dude. Great finish by Justin Jacoby. And I don't know what to put Justin Jacoby against after this. You know, he's fought 2 prospects back to back, but definitely needs a better competition. Maybe even a number 15 ranked. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know. Light heavyweight. Great win from Justin Jacoby. Fucking sick finish. On to the next. Billy Ray Goff versus Ramiz Brahmaja, whatever the fuck. All right, whatever his name is. Go up. All right, cool. Billy Ray Goff. Minus 400 favorite in this fight. You know, I thought he was going to mog Ramiz and marauder his way to a knockout, but, you know, I should have thought that we're 9-3 in the UFC, high-level competition. And even though I was thinking that, like, you know, this guy, Billy Ray Goff, he's really good. I think he's going to fucking maraud his way to decision. He sticks his head in a guillotine. A standing guillotine. But Ramiz, right away, was able to get some good grappling off of Billy Ray Goff. To credit to Ramiz. But Billy Ray Goff, like, trying to get his way back up against the fence, just sticks his head in a fucking guillotine, dude. In a tight standing guillotine. John Jones, Lyoto Machida style guillotine. I'm going to put a fucking video, like, right here or wherever on the screen of the ref cam of Billy Ray Goff getting choked out cold. But Ramiz did not let go. He was determined on this standing guillotine. And Billy Ray Goff, I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he was not fighting the hands. He was not fighting the hands at all. So, Ramiz just chokes Billy Ray Goff to sleep. And he's like, he's out. He's telling the ref he's out. And then he drops Billy Ray Goff. And Billy Ray Goff is just lifeless on the floor. And there goes a prospect right there. Billy Ray Goff, hype train, derailed by Ramiz Brahmaja. The main event, Mateusz Gamrot versus Ludwig Klein. I thought coming into this fight that Mateusz Gamrot was going to smudge Ludwig Klein to a decision, and that's exactly what happened. And this was just to showcase how good Gamrot is. Gamrot has a win over Arman, even though it's close and arguably a robbery, but he still has a win and made it really competitive that the judges thought he won that fight. And he had a close fight with Dan Hooker. And, he had another good fight. Fuck. I forgot. Mateusz Gamrot. He had another fucking dominant fight. God damn it, I forgot what it was. Mateusz Gamrot. Even though Rafael Fiziev, as much as I like him and as much as I hated Gamrot after he somehow fucking uses mental fluke powers to destroy Fiziev's knee. I don't know how he did that, but he was winning the striking exchanges opening to the fight. I can admit. So, Mateusz Gamrot, he's been in there with the best. So, seeing this matchup, and it was just, in my opinion, a mismatch because Mateusz Gamrot is world class collegiate wrestler, world class MMA fighter, just one of the best, if not just one of the best in the world. You know, arguably could beat people in the top 5. Arguably could beat Charles. Arguably could beat Poirier. I don't know, even though they're friends, but could beat Gaethje. I'm sure he can beat Gaethje. He could beat a lot of guys in the lightweight division, and I'm pretty sure he could put up a good fight against Islam as well. Because Mateusz is really good, but every fight, of course, he gets rocked. So this happened in this fight. Ludwig Klein threw a jab, hit Mateusz Gamrot in his soy boy chin, and just fucking rocked him in. And Mateusz Gamrot did a pistol squat, got right back up though. Another thing I can say about this fight before I get into the detailed like breakdown is Gamrot's single leg chain wrestling. You know how Gamrot is, you know, he dives on the single leg, puts his fucking shoulder all the way into your thigh, basically pins your leg against the ground and works his way up, chains into a body lock. And that happened a few times in this fight where he changed it to a body lock. But what DC pointed out, as much as I don't like to listen to the commentary and what the fuck they're saying, DC pointed out something cool about Mateus Gamrot's body lock grappling. So every time that Ludovic Klein went to break the grip, like, so let's say I'm Ludovic Klein, and this is Mateus Gamrot's hands around my chest like this. Every time that Ludovic Klein went to break the grip, let's say I'm trying to break the grip right here with this hand, Mateus Gamrot would just grab the wrist like this and just created another body lock. I thought that was really dominant and really cool what Mateus Gamrot did to smudge Ludovic Klein to a decision, because it's Mateus Gamrot's knowledge of collegiate wrestling and his knowledge of how to hold people down and his knowledge on how to fucking absolutely dominate people in the wrestling. And Gamrot got that dog in him, dude. This guy was not fucking quitting for those first 2 rounds. I mean, he started slowing down in the 3rd round, of course, and that's when Ludovic Klein had his most success, but he just wasn't enough, dude. This fight reminded me how good Gamrot is, and Klein only had success because Mateus was just whooping his ass that bad for the first 2 rounds, bro. And what I loved about Mateus Gamrot this fight was his ground and pound. It was so fucking nasty. Just, even though he's in close guard, still able to reach up and hit Ludovic Klein with some nasty hammer fists. Able to stack Ludovic Klein, hit him with some great elbows. It was a grappling masterclass, grappling ground and pound masterclass. And respect to Gamrot for taking such a meaningless fight, but just wanting to compete. Hella respect. I love to see him fight Patty. And because actually they're right next to each other in the rankings, that'll be a pretty badass fight. Mateus Gamrot versus Patty Bimblett. I think that'll be a great fight. As much as the UFC TKO would not want to make it, that is the fucking true fans fight right there. Mateus Gamrot versus Patty Bimblett. That'll be great. But Ludovic Klein, it's just outskilled, outmatched by someone who's just as world class as Mateus Gamrot. He's right there, he doesn't lose a lot of stock for losing this fight. So I'd say book him against Benoit Saint Denis. Let those fools fucking battle it out. And I think Ludovic Klein can stop Benoit Saint Denis. I don't know. Ludovic Klein is weird. He fucking absolutely hits people with some insane shit, but he cannot finish a fight to save his life. So maybe Benoit Saint Denis will fucking maraud his way to kill Ludovic Klein. But overall, when it came to the fights that actually did happen, great. Not really. Filho, Aldana, and Chasson, and then already Reina dos Santos, fucking Alice Ardeline. Mid fights, the only good fights that I really liked watching was Gamrot, and of course Billy Ray Goff getting killed in the cage. Dustin Jacoby. That's mainly it, dude. Oh, Balaji. That was a great fight too. So I wouldn't say it's the worst card of all time, but it definitely really is, because we missed the main event, and we did miss another fight on this card. 2 fights on this card, including the main event, and the other one being, of course, Trevin Giles versus Andreas Gustafsson. Pretty sure Trevin Giles would have been able to find success. Of course, he always does. But I didn't really see Trevin Giles getting KO'd by Andreas Gustafsson, because Andreas Gustafsson, he gets really sloppy when it comes to the third round. I was gonna, if the fight did happen, I probably was gonna pick Trevin Giles, but other than that, guys, that was Gamrot versus Ludovic Klein UFC Fight Night, Las Vegas in the Apex. Overall, I'd give the card, like, on a ranking between 1 through 10, 3 out of 10. Now, Mateus Gamrot put up a masterclass performance. I really liked and I really enjoyed watching it. Billy Ray Goff got killed. Justin Jacoby killed somebody. But overall, thinking about it, like, when it comes to, like, not being, like, a UFC kind of hardcore fan, if the casual fan watched this, dude, he'd probably give it like a fucking 0 out of 10, of course. UFC, this is what you get for booking shit fights. This is what you get for this is what you get for sucking. Because as soon as TKO kind of took over, this shit has been ass. The UFC is going on coast mode right now. And I don't, Dana White, he says he wants to get out of the Apex, but I don't think it's ever going to happen because well, it might actually happen because when they get away from ESPN, I think they'll be able to get out of the Apex because it seems like right now the Apex is just used to fucking spam ads, the ESPN ads. And I'm glad the UFC's moving on. I'm glad. But anyway, guys, that were the fights this last Saturday. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you liked the video, drop a like, subscribe. I'm getting into this, dude. You know, I got a busy life, but I still find time to make these videos because I love watching MMA. I love talking about MMA. And anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, boys.